I'm from Michigan too.
Gang, gang.
You know what I'm saying?
What part of Michigan? Shout out. Oh, we were in Champion.
Benton Harbor, South Haven.
Okay, all right. Shout out to her.
Hey, she has such a judgmental look.
I'm not. I swear, I'm not judging.
She does though. She does have a judgmental look.
No,
Okay.
I'm not judging.
You know, the funny thing is when people always do something and they act, "Huh, what are you talking about?" I hate when people do that. You know what you're doing.
What am I doing?
Nothing. Let's drop it.
I was not judging you.
Welcome to the hotline chat. Welcome to the hotline chat. How we start this? What do we do?
It's a conversation.
It's the authenticity for me.
It's the friendship, I guess. Say good vibes for me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I didn't lead the way. But
well, I'm leading the way. We talking about we gonna talk about social media influencers who don't practice what they preach, of course. And you know, the topic of discussion for the last week or 3 days or something?
I would say past 3-4 days, yeah.
Derrick, Jaxyn. Mr. Make a Video in his car himself.
Ooh, child.
What y'all think?
Mr. I got nice muscles. That's about it.
I think I seen a picture of him like before. He was like skinnier.
Yeah, I mean, so
Don't look like it.
Before we actually get in depth, I was in a clubhouse room earlier this morning. And was it this morning or last night?
Last night, I think.
Last night. There was a girl who went to college with him. I think he went to Tuskegee, college or something like that, an HBCU. Anyway, she said that she was roommate with his freshman year college girlfriend. And she said the girl, after they broke up, became very depressed. And during the time that they were dating, she did not really go out as much. And he was known to kind of be allegedly hoeing around because he was a football player. So
what's college for?
While
that's what college
she's
is for.
In the dorm and not doing shit because her boyfriend is instructing her to not go out.
While he's out here doing what he wants to do. That's why you should do what you want to do, ladies.
Do what you want to do. You want to be a hoe? It's 2021.
I don't know if I'm promoting that, but if you want to do that, do what you want to do. Whatever it is.
I am a God-fearing woman. I am a modest woman. But do what makes you happy, babe.
Facts.
What do y'all? So let's start. Whoever want to go first. What do y'all?
Before we start,
okay.
We're all in the same room, guys. Okay, go ahead.
All right. What are y'all issues with this situation?
Can we talk about like first reactions first?
My first reaction, we got him. That's my first reaction. We finally got this nigga. Like
right.
I was like, yo, we finally got this nigga.
You're not the first one. Literally, every man I talk to.
You should listen to Derrick Jaxyn.
We told you so. I was like, first of all, I was not a fan. Instagram was shoving this man in my face.
Facebook for me.
But I was never a fan. I saw some of his videos. I thought they were interesting. You know.
I think that he had some valid points in some of the videos that he had, but every time I tried to click and actually listen to his videos, something always seemed a little off. And now it makes sense because when you are not being true to the things that you're preaching,
right,
it will come out. And even the people who follow him or whatever the case may be, certain people are going to be able to pick up on the fact that the energy you're giving is not the energy that you're living.
Right.
So first thoughts for me were, dang, that's crazy. I knew it.
I think my issue is that it's not an issue really. I think people allowed him to have this career, this like very flourishing, successful career.
Go ahead.
He's self-proclaimed.
Right. Because he really utilized techniques and he built an entire career on the insecurities of a lot of black women. Unfortunately, due to traumas we experience and the black men in our lives, a lot of black women are insecure. And I'm not saying that we should build, our securities based on how black men think of us, but as a lot of black women, and there's research, please do your research. There are a lot of black women that want to build black household and black families, and due to the lack of black men, some of black men in the community, this man built a career around our insecurities. And I'm not saying me, I'm just saying a lot of black women felt and, related to some of the things that he was preaching.
I think a lot of women just related to a lot of the stuff that...
But his audience were predominantly black women.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I will say that, yeah, you're right. I agree with that. But I think his advice was never, I don't think it was good at all. I think like he was preaching something that wasn't sustainable.
What do you mean?
There's so much like he was doing this for like years, right? He was doing
9
this for like,
years, I think.
how many?
I think so.
9 years, you said?
I think so.
That's
Because
a long,
he started on
I'll fact check
Facebook and stuff.
that's a long time.
Yeah.
So most of the advice that
He
I've
stayed
seen,
in the same car, I think, the whole time. No, I'm kidding.
I never seen the car. I never seen the outside of the car.
He said,
But some of the things he was saying was just like there was no, like I said before, there was no nuance to it. There was no like everything he did was just he was enabling. We'll say that. There are a lot of advice that he gave. If you were hurt, if you were in a relationship and you were hurt, that validated what you was feeling.
facts.
And there was no nuance to like. I've never seen him give advice where it was like it was anything the woman could be accountable for in the relationship. And
But that's what I'm saying, like building insecurities around, building a career around insecurities.
But then, like you've seen, I mean, everybody's probably seen the videos now where he was like, "I have no sympathy for any man who cheats and this and that."
Yeah, facts.
and that's not. But then
He said all that.
But then he makes a video trying to like explain himself about him cheating and stuff like that, which don't make sense to me. Like you're not. And let me be clear. I don't. Him cheating is neither here nor there. That's for him and his wife to figure out. For me, it's the fact that he was so. You say he built this platform around the insecurities of women, of black women. I also add on to that. I think he built his platform on kicking the backs in of black men. I think he was the head of Black Niggas Ain't Shit movement. I think he was at the head, like he was head nigga.
Did he start Black Men Don't Cheat?
No.
Oh.
No.
Wasn't that Lil Duval?
That was Lil Duval.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But like he started, like he was the Niggas Ain't Shit movement, like head spokesperson, like, president.
But that's true.
Anyway. But so it's just a fact of it is for me, everybody, there's nobody in this world who hasn't contradicted himself, who isn't a hypocrite in some sort of way. But like, I think, like, I hate when people throw this word around like narcissism because everybody wants to be a therapist and everybody thinks they know what it is. But he might be that, to be honest with you. He might be that. He done dragged his wife into this and all that. Like, it's crazy, man. So.
But I mean, his wife is choosing. So I think it's one thing to say.
Do you think she's choosing, though? I really think she is held down, hostage. Sis, blink once.
I think that she might be, I don't know, brainwashed, or she might be in a space where she's, lived her life a specific way. Because I know that she was using religion and, a lot of the things from the Bible and talking of whatever, applying it to her specific situation, how she interprets it. But I think that, at the end of the day, regardless of whatever state she's in, she's making a choice.
Yeah, she is.
She's making a choice for whatever reason. And that's her journey to go through, whatever the journey is. And if he is somebody, just from how it seems like from the grip, I don't know what type of grip that was. I felt like that should have been in a Marvel movie or something. Like, I don't know.
Gorilla glued her ass.
Yes, for real. I was like, whatever that, like, from that.
The arm was just like, here.
Yeah, it didn't look like the best situation from the outside looking in. And so it's difficult to leave those situations. So yeah, she might be in a state where she's, being emotionally held hostage or manipulated or whatever the case may be. And at the same time, we don't know like 100% like what is behind everything.
Right.
So I'm careful to say like, oh yeah, like she's, like completely, just has no choice, no nothing. Like, I feel like, I hope she gets to a state where she can choose for herself. And for me, the biggest thing that was the most audacious part of the entire thing was him reacting to his own video that he created as if it is not him.
And using the third person.
Yes, and saying, good job for taking accountability. I said, wow.
The audacity of this man.
I said, wow.
And he was like referring to himself in a third person.
But if you look at what he said about other men who've cheated who are public figures, right? And he reacted to those videos where those men addressed issues. He didn't have the same energy with those men. So it's just kind of like, once again, it's like hypocrisy at its finest. So I don't know. For me, I just think that there's this whole thing about listening to people. I saw Keke Palmer post this video on Instagram, and she's like, do you have the credentials? Like, you giving me advice, do you have the credentials? I didn't ask you for any advice.
Did you go to school for this thing?
Yeah, and it's like we are listening to people that are on these social media platforms because they have all of these people following them, and we're taking what they're saying and applying it to our lives without doing our work and without really taking a look and saying, hey, like from a real professional standpoint, you know, what can I actually take from this person? Right. Does this person have the credibility to, you know, stand on the things that they're saying? Anyone can get in front of a camera, even for us. You know, we say things based on our opinion. We can always say that it's not 100% fact because we have our own experiences, and our experiences are biased. So certain things that we say, don't take as the truth, because you have to decide for yourself what you can apply in your life. And just like the woman that he cheated on, she has to deal with all of that. There's people who have followed his advice and people who have put him on this pedestal that now have to deal with the impact of glorifying somebody on social media.
Right. I really think if this man was not attractive, he would have not built this.
He's attractive?
A lot of women find him attractive. Oh. I don't. Ian's not my type. He is honestly not your type. But a lot of the women, majority of his followers are women, and a lot of them find him attractive. And I feel like attractiveness, knowing a couple of phrases, you know, listening to some affirmation videos. Hey, queen, pick up your crown. You're good. You built, you know, this like relationship guru persona, and I'm just like, damn, it's really that easy, y'all. Like, I'm thinking of like building a career now.
I think for me, it's about and probably not a lot of people are going to do this, but it's about accountability. We have to start.
That's your favorite word.
It is. I think that we have to stop taking in only things that feed into what we want to hear. And I think that's what he did. He gave a lot of women of what they wanted to hear. And then I think so. And like, hey, it just fed into their like you said, their insecurities about the relationships they were in if it didn't go right and stuff of that nature. And I think that's just what happened. And I think we have to stop people just have to stop taking in what they want to hear and then hear it and be able to do some self-reflection and then figure out what it is with it that went wrong themselves or take in other points of view.
I'm glad you said that because I think that ties in with religion too. Because I know the wife was talking about whole armor of God, and, you know, scriptures. And as a Christian myself, I was just like, dang, like, that's your situation. And I just don't like when people use religion to validate or say, you know, this is why I decided to do this and God is this. And I'm like, first of all, chill. Don't use God as a way for you to justify something. But back to the point that you were making about accountability and people. What were you just saying? Why did I lose my train of thought?
I was saying that people taking in only what they want to hear.
Oh, yes. People taking in only what they want to hear. It's the same thing with religion. We take what we want to hear and we apply it to our situation. We take what, you know, might be like on the thing or what someone else is saying. You know, like let's say, for example, There's like a pastor that is really eloquent with his words, and he's very charming, and he's able to speak to a specific thing that I have to be able to discern for myself whether or not what he's saying is actually applicable, one. Two, something that actually is from the word of God, and then three, something that is credible. Like, is what he's saying actually credible? Is he just speaking from whatever standpoint, or is he speaking from his own biases? And I think that what we do a lot of the times is we trust other people to make decisions or choices for our lives because we value what they say more than we value what we say, because we've made mistakes or things haven't gone the way that we want them to go. And so we lose trust within ourselves, and then next thing you know, that a person that we feel like is successful in a specific area, we just take everything that they say. And it's important to sift through that. It's important to learn to trust yourself. It's important to learn how to make good decisions, and it's going to be a process. But to put all your eggs in one basket.
It's important to do your own research.
Yes. But to put all your eggs in one basket, or to take what someone says as the only truth, is one of the worst things that you can do, because what you're doing is dictating your life based on someone else. And if that person doesn't exist, what happens?
Right.
How do you determine what you need to do? How do you make your own choice? It's good to get information. It's good to get wisdom. It's good to get counsel. It's good to get all those things. But at the end of the day, you have to have a knowing within yourself that no matter what happens, I can make this choice. I can figure out what the best thing is for my life. And I feel like with social media, people no longer have that. People seek validation and choices and decisions in their choices and decisions from other people. And then when it doesn't work out, or when something happens and that person isn't what we expected, their whole life is completely shifted.
Right.
So I think there's something to say about that too.
Right. Like, we tend to put people on a pedestal, and I'm like, you're a human at the end of the day. Like, you make mistakes. You try to rectify your mistakes. Good. But I feel like that's why I don't follow a lot of influencers per se, because I just don't trust influencers. Like, if I follow celebrities or like people that I admire in terms of like actresses or like musicians or things like that, but if your job is to be an influencer, I do not. Like, there's nothing for me. Where are you going to influence me to begin with? And then with the whole relationship advice, I feel like the relationship advice that he was given, again, he built it around what a lot of Black women needed to hear. Unfortunately, this society preys on the needs of Black women, preys on our insecurities, preys and tells us, first of all, it tells us that we're not pretty. And this man was telling us, hey, queen, pick up your crown. A lot of Black women experience domestic violence at higher rates from Black men in Black households. And this man was like, oh, queen, pick up your crown and leave that toxic king. He was doing and saying all the right things that a lot of women that needed to hear that from their own families, from their own communities, did not get. So I can see why they put him in this like mountain that, he's untouchable, his relationship advice were great. But I also feel like if therapy was an option for a lot of Black people, I just feel like we would not resort to like social media and being influenced so easily. And this is for Black women. Like, please do the work you need to do. Please take time to like love on yourself. Do not wait for a social media influencer or a relationship guru or a fitness person to tell you, this is how you can fix these insecurities. Go to therapy. Take time to work on yourself and do the work that's needed. In terms of religion, I'm not a Christian, but I can see how religion can be used to manipulate and, put this hierarchy, right? Men cannot do no wrong. And, as a woman, your job is to be the companion of this man. Your job is to hold him down. Your job is like, at the end of the day, my man's coming back for me. Like, this is his home. I should be the wife according to scripture. I should do this. I should do that. there's no religion in the world that tells you to subjugate yourself to abuse and violence. If you feel like this relationship is not working out, if you feel like this individual that you're in a committed relationship with is abusing you in any way, please, do what you can to get out of it. Whether you're Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, I don't think there's a religion in the entire world that allows subjugation and harmful activities. So
yeah,
leave.
And there's a difference between being inspired by someone and taking what they say as fact and idolizing them. And that's why it's important not to idolize people. Even like we were just talking about Beyonce and Rihanna, they are incredible women and
talented,
have built amazing brands.
Asian doll too.
Cash doll.
Oh yeah, Asian
Cash doll.
That's
beautiful and talented. Yes.
Cash doll.
Shout out to you, Cash doll.
Our man's is in love with you, so
I mean, I don't know if she's gonna see this, but Cash doll, he's a
reach out to him.
Okay, what was you saying now?
Anyway, so why you change the subject?
You changed it. I'm putting this back on.
No, I'm just saying. But anyways, even Beyonce, Jay-Z, people who are put on this huge pedestal. I think it's
Bill
great.
Gates,
Bill Gates, whoever the inspiration is for you, it's great to be inspired by people. It's great to be like, man, I love what they're doing. I want to be able to do it too. Or to say, okay, I see that they've experienced this and this is what they're speaking from. But it's also important, like she was saying, to do the work, to take a look. If you're trying to change something in your relationship, one, not all relationships are the same. Not every individual is the same. And so it's important to take a look and, really be able to assess your situation and see, like I said, what you can pull from what someone is saying and what you can't. We have to be able to filter things out. I feel like we used to be in a space where, and maybe not, maybe we were never in that space, but I feel like we don't filter out the things that we need, because it's either what somebody is saying is 100% true or it's 100% false. But there's something that you can take from any situation, and there's things that you shouldn't from every situation. So I just think that it's important that we start kind of figuring out how to filter through the BS of the things that people are saying to us, especially online.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, and then digging onto the religion thing. I don't know the wife. The only thing I can really view this off of is just the video that she made. But
which I haven't seen yet. So
the one thing that worries me is when I see over religious people, a lot of times when I see them, they're very out of touch with reality. And when I seen her in the camouflage and what was that thing on there? What was that? Was that the beret?
Yeah.
Yeah, the beret. It's just, and she's talking about the blood of Jesus and ready to go to war. I'm just like, yo, my G, I don't think she understands the situation.
Yeah.
And it's it's a loss of reality that really, it's I think we were talking about earlier, like a cult. The way you're talking, you're not even talking in a very, I don't understand, and I'm not a religious person, but maybe she doesn't want for me to, I think she said, you don't even, if you're not part of the kingdom or something like that, then you would be, I don't know, something. And I was like, yo, it is a loss of reality, and I think that's what keeps people in that spot, especially in those situations, because I know women who are very religious, but they, it's not a physical abuse thing, but their men can be cheating and all this and that, but then the marriage is seen as something in God's eyes, and they don't want to break that. And I think that's just very.
And I think that's something that happens specifically for me, within even my Christian journey. I can definitely say there were times where I was so religious to the point where everything that I was doing was being filtered from the space of what I thought I should be doing. And sometimes you get, especially when I feel like, and I'll speak specifically from my experience. For my experience, when I converted religions, I had gone through a lot of stuff in my life. And so when I decided to become a Christian, I felt like there was a healing that took place. I felt like internally, I was in a much better space. And so because I had this newfound peace, or because I had this newfound understanding of, certain things about myself, I felt like I clinged on to that, because before that I felt like I was just going through life automatically. I was just doing things and, I was accomplishing certain things, but it felt like I was not in control of my life or, my body, my spirit, none of that. So when I converted, and I felt like I had a little more control, and I felt like I had a little more peace, and because it was so real, the experience of it, I clung on to it. And I feel like for a lot of people, they cling on to religion as a way to cope or as a way to deal with things, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The problem is, though, when you start taking that feeling and applying it to every situation and not really assessing the situation for what it is. Even in the Bible, it says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. We cannot, as someone who is in the kingdom, right? We cannot say, because I have this, understanding, or because I have this connection with God, I'm not going to take a look at the facts of the situation, or I'm not going to take a look at, the reality of the situation. Because what we do for ourselves as people who have whatever faith we have is we do ourselves the disservice of actually receiving what it is that God actually really wants. And I feel like what happens is we trap ourselves into situations because things haven't gone right in our lives, and because now we feel like we're indebted to the people that have given us some sort of joy or a little bit of whatever it was that we were missing. And so since we cling on to that, we live our lives in a way that everything is filtered through that. But that's not the reality. That's not life all the way through. You can't live your life just from a standpoint of, I need to cling on to this feeling. I need to cling on to this sensation. I need to cling on to this religion. Because the more you cling on to something, the more that other things are not actually going to be able to be given to you. So for anybody who is religious, for anybody who's really having a hard time being able to decipher what to do with your life, trust yourself and trust that if you really have a relationship with God, that God will go ahead and give you the things that you need as well. It doesn't have to be just through the people that are in your life. And for women out there, just because a man says he is religious, just because a man can quote a couple scriptures, it doesn't necessarily mean that man is a good man. Be careful. Don't listen to what people say. Take a look at the actions. Judge people based on the fruits.
Character.
Yes, that's what you need to take a look at. Stop letting these men fool you into thinking that they're these holy and righteous and amazing catches, and you're staying in a relationship where you're being beaten emotionally, physically, whatever the case may be, because you feel like it's the right thing to do because he is religious. God is not going to do that. Don't do that.
And when he apologizes, he uses God.
Yes, don't do that.
That's
don't
what
do
threw
that.
me off. He was like, I found...
Yeah, I get really upset about that because I've been in situations where somebody who had authority and power told me that what I was saying wasn't valid because they had more of a say-so, because they had a higher relationship with God. That's not true. Don't let anybody tell you that. And don't listen to that foolishness that you saw on that video, because that's some foolishness.
Foolishness.
No, you're good.
No, that pisses me off. I don't like that.
I mean,
so you didn't
people
like that.
use religion to dictate how women should behave. And it doesn't matter what religion it is. You always find a group of, religious, quote unquote, that use religion to, manipulate.
I mean, religion in
Yes.
itself is kind of that way. I would say, also, I guess the religion thing, I would just say, everything Lo just said about the man thing in religion. And also, religion does not give you a moral compass at all. Like, just because a man says anybody says y'all almost got me talking like y'all. Just because a person says that they're religious doesn't mean that they're just morally always
Great
right.
person.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean that. I've been there's relationships that I've had in the past that I didn't work out because I'm not religious. Because they think religious is not being religious. I'm just the devil or something like
You're
that.
just shiesty, is that what you think?
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know what I'm saying.
But yeah, it doesn't, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, anything else with the Derrick Jaxyn?
I want to talk about the shaming, the victim shaming or the victim blaming that I saw a lot on social media.
With the wife?
It's with the wife, specifically on Clubhouse, specifically
That
You be
social
on
media
your
platform
Clubhouse.
is toxic.
I enjoy Clubhouse.
See, this is what I said. I've said this before. It's the internet. Like what you would like once I seen the video when he brought her on the video and they was holding their hands. It was a wrap for her.
That's the Thanos script.
It was a wrap for her. The internet does. You can't win.
You can't win.
And then, to be honest with you, he should have known that because he's been part of the internet for a long time. He's been making videos for a long time. He knows how this goes.
But that does not give us access.
But I think it was
right.
her idea, is what he said. I don't know
That's
if
what
he said. It doesn't give us right, but it's just for me the nature of the internet. That's just what it is.
I agree. I'm not saying it's the three of us are making fun of the victim.
I'm talking about the internet.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the clowning that I saw. Of course he cheated. She's not taking care of herself.
Oh my God! When I saw that,
her hair.
Wow.
I mean, she's with Derrick Johnson or Jaxyn, whatever his name is. Her hair needs to be laid. She needs to have the bundles. Where's the nails? Where's the BB, whatever. People were really dissecting this woman that we don't, we just met her yesterday. We don't know her. We don't know her struggles. We don't know her story. And I felt like she had no autonomy online.
Facts.
Nothing. And that's, my issue is with the cheater. My issue, because there are actual women that came out. There's video. There's documentation, right? We should focus, if we're, going after somebody, we should focus on him. Why are we focusing our attention on this woman that we know nothing about? Nothing.
Everybody can get it with the internet.
And to the women who said that, it's but how are you saying that about her when his whole platform is built on leave if you're not happy?
And
that doesn't make sense.
Right. And I was just struggling online. I just didn't know what to do. People were really coming for this poor woman. She did not sign up for this.
So when she showed her face, it was a wrap.
That's the thing. Maybe there's she thought by doing this she can save her man's career. You know what I mean? She thought by presenting that she's healing and she's okay and telling us her side of the story. We don't know. I'm just speculating here. But she possibly thought that she's saving her man's career or whatever.
You know something that I noticed recently? I've noticed that a lot of men who are on TV, I'll say reality TV or not all men, or influencers, feel like because they are, one, in a good financial space, and two, they haven't cheated until a certain point, that I've seen that
apparently this was going on since they met in college, on and off.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, okay, so I was watching this show, and this guy on the show, he was married to his wife, and they built this huge brand or whatever. And so anyways, he ended up cheating, and she ended up finding out, right? And so after she found out, she was trying to leave, and she ended up giving him another chance, and he was still doing the same things. And he kept saying, he's like, you'll never find another guy like me. You'll never find another guy like me. There are things that you didn't do, and that's why I ended up cheating. And I feel like there's this narrative that I've been hearing lately from a lot of men who have influence, especially if it's on TV or on social media, or if they have the financial, stability or whatever, where it's because I have this, I am a high value man, or I'm a man who's at a certain stage, so so you should accept certain things.
DJ, cut the
because
mic.
no, but they say you should accept certain things because I'm a great catch, because I've helped you in your career, because because I'm fit, because other women want me, whatever the case may be. I'm not saying all men, because I feel like you ready to.
No, I got a speculation about that.
Oh, okay. But like I've been hearing that and I've been seeing that a lot lately. So I'm just like, what is it about certain men who get on social media, and I won't even say men, but certain people who get on social media where they feel like now because they have this influence, or get on TV, now they have this influence that they are, first of all, exempt from being given the same level of accountability, or needing to take the same level of accountability as somebody else. Why is that
I know
happening?
why. And this might sound very funny, but I blame the straight women and the gays out there. We gave these men so much confidence to think that they can walk around thinking like they're better than everybody, and can. You know what? This is a topic for another day.
Lost.
This is a topic for another day.
I'm lost.
Oh shit! I don't even. This is a topic for another day.
I'm lost. Well, I have a speculation though. I think that's always.
Hold on. I didn't even understand her response. Wait.
I didn't understand.
It's a topic for another day. We need to crush heterosexual men. We need to crush their egos.
Oh, that ain't gonna never happen. Well, anyways,
But that's another conversation for another day. Gender wars.
I got a speculation on it though. I think that's the way it's always been. I think it's not recent. I think there's always any man that's wealthy. That's always been kind of the narrative of right now. But I think it's my journey, because I've never.
But there's an arrogance to it now.
Yeah. Well, because you see it now, because of social media now. Like, people are talking more. But like, I've never dealt with anybody wealthy or anything like that. But like, as
Hopefully soon.
If I just put that together. I just got what you were saying. You stupid. But as my journeys in my past as a side nigga, I will say that.
Oh, here we go. Side Nigga Chronicles 101.
I will say that men.
I'm tired of you and your side niggas.
Hey, I'm just giving you this perspective.
Okay, go ahead.
But men who have.
So hold on, before you say anything. Self-proclaimed side nigga. Here you go.
Not at the moment.
101.
But recovering. Yeah, all right. What I'm saying is, like, men. And there's a word. You remember when they say men talk more than women? There's a saying of that, like, men talk more than women.
Oh, like when they get together.
Yeah. I think that's like, when you was talking, I was like, I think that's real. Like, so what happens is, when men, there is a thing when you get wealthy, and we talking about men, you talking about influence, you talking about people who most likely have not been popular with women, coming up. So once they get
like
up,
the Lil Duvals and.
You're not gonna do Lil Duval like that.
Kill him with the shoulders.
That man. Oh, if he did not have $1, I don't think but that's a conversation for another day.
Hey, I'm with you, my G. Anyways, but these men are not, been popular with women growing up. They probably never dealt with women like that before. It's like a Tiger Woods situation. You never had a girlfriend before. You get rich, you get all this money, you get married, and next thing you know, you figure out that you don't know who you are. You're just doing all this fuck shit, right? But then even given to that, like, men, when you're dealing with these men with influence, they're dealing with these women, and women most of the time, they're not saying not all the time, but most of the time, they're not going to accept those terms. They're not going to accept those terms of like, oh, you can just go cheat and come back. They're not going to do that. Most women will not do that. Most men will.
Most men will what?
Deal with those terms.
What terms?
If your woman is wealthy and you're not, you're going to accept those terms that she's cheating.
No, you won't.
Okay.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
All right. Ask Monique's husband.
Okay, let's call.
They have an open relationship.
You know why they have an open relationship?
No, I don't.
You ain't telling the story?
Let's call. I don't know. Who can we call right now to
How would I
confirm
know?
this?
You call who you want to call. If they have But the thing about it is when you come to the side, nigga, like when a woman is cheating or doing whatever you want, because let's be this, men who do that, they don't let their wives know. So let's get that straight fact first. They don't like, hey, this is the situation. They only do that when they get caught. They want to present a situation like, hey, I'm wealthy. I should be a lot of this time. So let's take this back to the other role. Women, most of the time you ain't getting caught.
I don't know why men make it seem like women are these like agile,
right?
ninjas,
like storyline, we're plot.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from experience. Y'all don't date women.
Your experience.
Y'all are dating women, and I've seen others' experiences too.
But we're women.
But you don't date women.
But I'm saying we're women. So we.
So
have
what you say about when you say about,
but
but you understand that with you two, who you two are. But what I'm saying is like once you get into a relationship and you get into a relationship with man, you know like men have these certain things in a relationship that you learn about them, right? You would never and I would never learn those things. I would never learn those things.
Why? Why do you think that is?
Why don't you?
Don't do that.
Exactly.
That nigga don't do that because I don't date. I'm not in that type of relationship with a man. There's a different relationship with a man and a woman that y'all have. It's an intimate relationship that y'all. It's a certain things that you learn about each other.
Okay.
Women is the same thing. A man and a woman, there's different things that you learn about each other. I have seen there's women today who are married. Men have no idea what the fuck is going on, what happened in the past, or what's going on at the moment. So don't when you say and I have social media pages. I can just scroll down and show you. So to be honest with you, it's the thing about it. It's like with men, they're sloppy with what they're doing. And they're not telling these women from the beginning, hey, this is how, and maybe they don't know from the beginning. Maybe they're hopping in and like, man, they get into marriage and they're like, man, I don't know, I only dated just one girl. I want to do other stuff, but I'm scared to break up this marriage, this and that. So I'm going to go do this fuck shit, right? But they don't come into the beginning because someone don't know, like, hey, I don't know who the fuck I am. But if you do know who the fuck you are and you don't come into that marriage and say, hey, or before you go into the marriage, this is the way I want this to be. This is the way I want this to be. Then you asking for a situation after you already get caught. You ain't got no leverage. What the fuck is you gonna ask? You got caught. Like nobody wanna fuck with you at this point. But when it comes to a woman, from my experience, again, I have never dealt with anybody.
A recovering side.
I've never dealt with anybody wealthy or anything with money. But I can tell you right now, a woman who is cheating on her partner can maintain her relationship perfectly fine. Most of the time.
And men can too.
No, they can't.
Yeah,
yes,
they
can.
Most of the time, no, they cannot.
Yeah, they can.
I
understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Derrick Jaxyn. The only reason it came out because of the mistress.
But this ain't the first time it came out. This ain't the first time it's happened. His wife has known about this multiple times. So it's not the fact that it's a public thing.
Okay, let's
Kevin Hart caught every time.
Okay, let's keep it 100. Okay, let's keep it 100%. In a relationship, a woman is definitely a woman is definitely going to be. I feel like women, we a lot of us have a naturally nurturing and wanting to get to know.
Nigga, I ain't no nurturing, no nigga.
No, but I'm saying like we have men and women can operate differently, right? So I understand what you're saying when you're saying there's a way that. I wouldn't say just a woman, but from your experience, I can take your experience, right? If you're saying from your experience that a woman, can have a whole life or is better at cheating, okay, whatever. But I do think, regardless of the fact that men who cheat, right, they can know themselves. They can
be perfectly in happy marriages.
They can be happy, and if they see something, if they don't have the discipline or if they don't have the commitment, or if there isn't, because I feel like in order to be in a monogamous relationship, it really takes a certain level of understanding of not just who you are, but what it is that you need in a relationship. And it takes a bunch of transparency with your partner in order to do it. I don't think the act of sleeping with someone else, I was talking to one of my friends just the other day, and he was saying how he doesn't think the act of sex itself is the problem in cheating. It's the fact that the person lies about having sex. Because if you guys are both on the same term, listen, I agree. Hold on, let me hold on.
You touch another woman.
Let me finish. If you guys both agree that you guys are
Why you hitting me?
because you guys have to be open to what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you guys both agree that in a relationship you guys are going to be 100% transparent, right? And you
Mostly.
say, huh?
Mostly.
Okay, mostly.
Shout out to her.
Huh? Who?
No, I don't know what she's on.
Oh, I don't know who she's shouting out, but whoever she is, shout out to you, girl. But if you have transparency in your relationship and you really have commitment in your relationship, then you should be able to have conversations with your partner if you're thinking about stepping out. That's just what I believe, right? So I feel like to say that a woman is better at cheating or a man is better at cheating, the problem is not the fact that they're sleeping with another person. The problem is that within that relationship, you don't have the ability to have a conversation with your partner and say, this is what I need, or hey, this is why I'm thinking about this. You should be able to have that transparency if you are looking for a monogamous relationship. I don't think everybody wants to step out and look at other people. You have to be able to understand the different levels of being attracted to somebody, because you can see other people as good looking and not want to
all the time,
right? You have to know the difference between what your marriage, if we're talking about marriage, what your marriage is defined as, or why you are really getting married. Those are the things that I feel like are not conversations. So that's why cheating, I feel like, has always been so rampant.
But some people are not mature enough, right? Let's say you come from a conservative background, you get married, this is your first experience with, somebody, blah 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 blah. You don't have the maturity to have these conversations. I think the problem is not that we're not transparent.
But here's the thing.
I think the problem is you're just being a dog and you want.
I don't think it's maturity. I think it's fear.
If you want to step out with somebody else and you come to your woman and your woman is like, no, I'm not cool with it. If you guys have respect for one another and you guys have created a level of understanding within your relationship, that shouldn't be a problem. Because somebody can have sex in a different type of relationship, right? Somebody can have sex with somebody else and their partner be aware of it and it's not considered cheating.
But that's an open relationship.
But I'm saying the act is not cheating. It's the lies. It's the deceit. That's why Derrick,
the act
and all
and
of
the
the
lies.
stuff that he was saying. No, it's the if the act itself is not what makes cheating. What makes cheating is your partner isn't aware of it.
I agree. That's facts.
Right.
The deception is a big part of it, but the pout is also another part.
But do you understand what I'm saying? If you're in an open relationship, it doesn't matter. Not to say that I condone open relationships for me.
Sir,
I'm saying,
once you marry me, we're going to the grave together, we separate.
Yeah, so I feel like it really depends on the person. And that's the problem in a lot of relationships is people are not, and that's why we're upset at Derrick. We're not upset at Derrick because he cheated. We're upset at Derrick, well, not upset, but people are clowning him, thinking it's funny or whatever the case may be. The reason why he's a topic today is because he said something and portrayed himself to be something and was deceitful about what he was portraying.
Right.
That's the breakdown.
Well, but I'll let you have this. But
you sure?
I just feel like the act itself and the deception are both cheating.
Obviously, you need the act in order for it to be considered deceitful if the person doesn't know. But someone else can have sex with someone else, and if the partner knows, it's not considered cheating.
It's because I know of it.
Exactly.
So, question for you, and this is just a question for the room, and I don't know the answer to it. Well, I have an opinion on it, but so taking the lying part out, you saying only if the lying part is the part that's the cheating part, right? Taking that part out, do you think it's worse if it's premeditated, or you think if it just happened?
What do you mean premeditated?
Like the cheating.
Like, give me an example.
Like I seen this girl. I'm in a relationship. I seen this girl, and I plot for weeks of how to be with her and get her and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Instead of it's like, I went to a club, we got drunk, it happened.
Here's what I think is the worst. I think the worst thing that you can do is be in a relationship with someone else, and for me,
plot to see somebody else.
Because so the couple that I was talking about earlier, right? He was in a whole relationship with the same woman for 2 years in his marriage. A whole nother woman for 2 years. For me, first of all, if you cheat on me, that's a deal breaker for me. But if, like, the fact that you are with the same woman, that tells me that now you have emotional ties. It's not just a physical tie. I feel like when there's a difference. What's the intent? Why? What's the reason?
So,
you know?
But what you're saying is, like, unless it's a one night stand. If it's a one night stand, you ain't never gonna see this girl again, see this man again. Okay, cool. You're never gonna meet him again. But if it's something that's over some time, it's a relationship regardless. I don't care.
That's a toddler.
Wow.
2 years.
But it's a relationship regardless of how you cut it. To be honest with you, because like most people who cheat, when they go to the person they're cheating with, that's a relationship. Facts. They're not just going over there to have sex. They go over there, they talk about their issues with their partner. Facts. They talk about the issues in their world.
Facts.
Again, it's a relationship how you cut it. So it's just like, I don't know, like I always wondered about that. Like
and cheating, as we've discussed before, isn't just physical. No, you could be an emotional cheater. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different ways. That's why it's not just about the act itself. It's about the deceit behind it. It's about you hiding something from your partner intentionally. Why are you hiding this intentionally from them?
But I think I'm more upset, not at the lies, but at the act. The fact that you had a whole woman right there.
Yeah, couldn't be me.
Could not be me. We're finished. Over.
Yeah.
Divorce.
Y'all gonna see a whole nother side of Lojo if that ever happens, bro.
Listen, and I'm right there with guns. What are you talking about? Burning the entire house down. Please don't
do that. We're joking.
We're joking.
Disclaimer. All disclaimer.
Wow. I didn't say nothing. I was just thinking.
What's worse for you?
For
what? For you, is it the act or is it the lie?
I think it's the act for me.
So,
that's every man I talk to is the act.
So
and
it's
it might be misogynistic, but it's the act.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
That's every
Why
man
is it the
I
act
talk to.
for you?
So let's put it like this then. Let me add context to it. So if something happens and I start
so interesting.
So if something happens, I start putting together the lies. So like if you told me like, hey, you know, I was going out with my friend and I found out you was getting pounded by some dude or something like that. Then that's gonna be after the fact.
The act is crazy.
But the act of it's the act of the meet. Because when you hear about the act, you visualize it. Yeah. And to visualize your queen getting taken down by some random dude, like it's crazy, man. It's wild. Like,
you know what? I take it back.
Like, yo, your queen gets smashed out here.
It's both. That's what I said. It's both for me. Sabrit,
it's both. Because I couldn't. If I
that's you get the visual first. Like, you be like, what? And you start thinking about, like, what? After that, you start, like, after, like, a day or something, that's when I started thinking about, you was really going over there?
Can I share a story? That's just how crazy I can be sometimes. I had a dream.
Oh my god!
Was
this when we were in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember this.
And I'm not saying I had a dream that somebody I was talking to cheated on me, and I was.
She woke up. She was ready.
It was just a dream.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've had a dream too, and I said, "Hold up, we need to have a conversation."
This is not my husband. Like, I'm not married. I just had a dream.
That one day,
all
men would be faithful.
Have y'all ever done any crazy things when you thought the man was cheating?
I haven't done a crazy thing, but I'm the type of person. I'm the type of person where, obviously, if you watched our forgiveness episode, you know how I was saying, I be in my head, there's a lot that's going on. Plotting. You feel me? I plot. So for me, I've never luckily been in a situation, by the grace of God, where I've been cheated on. to my knowledge, right? I don't think that anyone is exempt from being cheated on. I don't think that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could really happen to anybody. By the grace of God, it hasn't happened to me yet. But I be hearing conversations with some of my friends and people that I know where they've been cheated on. And sometimes I think about what I would do in that situation. And I know in my heart something awakens in me. And I'm like, yo, yes, it's like something arises.
The African lion.
Yeah, something happens, and I'm like, yo, God knows I couldn't handle that. Because the type of person I am, first of all, you're not even going to know it's coming. You're not even going to know it's coming. If I know you cheated on me, it's wraps, and you won't even know until I'm
The fact that we're getting heated up right
now. No, because you don't understand. Like,
the fact that we're so passionate
about it. Like, I don't think I could do that. So, like, people are really strong to be able to experience that. First of all, take the person back. That's how I know. This is one of the reasons why I say it's a deal breaker for me. Not just because, one, I don't want to be cheated on, but two, because no one wants that. Two, for me, I know that I wouldn't be able to forget. Like you was saying, I'm going to visualize that. Do you think I'm going to sit in your face and see the image? I'm a creative person by heart. If I see that, every time you talk, that's all I'm seeing. So what are we in a relationship
with? The music and the colors.
So I feel like I would literally be one of those like crazy people, but it would be like a plotted, very, you know what I'm saying, ninja, you know, like last minute, just don't do it.
Can I bring an interesting thing that a lot of people are talking about on Clubhouse? Because I spend a lot of time.
You need to be the spokesperson for Clubhouse.
Right. Pay me.
Send her a coin.
Please. No, I use Clubhouse as like a live podcast when I'm like getting my schoolwork done. But somebody was talking about money. It could be that, again, I'm not blaming the victim. I'm with you, sis. Blink once if you need help. But, like, there's money tied into it, and she can't leave because this could be her only, you know, financial outlet. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like, in terms of, like
maybe she's not working.
I mean,
she's a full-time mom. It seems like she's a full-time mom.
So there's two things. Back in the day, and I think even still now, when a man is the sole provider.
Oh yeah, she
people always.
If she get divorced, she get that bread.
People always say, or advise people or women, whoever, they advise women to keep an extra account.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like, if anything is to ever happen, you want to be in a situation where
you can pack your
you're going to be able to go. I think that it's really important for women to be able to have something of their own. Even if you want the man to financially take care of you, you know, make sure that you have something on the side. Or if you're in a situation, then leave. If you're in a situation, I love that song. If you're in a situation where you have been mistreated and you want to leave, but you feel like it's not the right time, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking your time and stacking your bread and then leaving the situation, you know, in a way that is, you know, makes sense for you.
Financially makes sense.
Yeah, because I feel like people automatically are like, you should just leave. But it's like, sometimes people have to take the necessary steps so they can make their exit one that makes sense and leaves them in a better position or in a comfortable position, you know, than just having absolutely nothing at all.
I'd rather leave with the cars and the bags and the watches.
Yeah,
like, sweetie, baby girl, tell me how you did it.
Yeah, he took it back though, right?
What? Yeah.
He took the cars back, right?
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
He took the car. I think he took a car back.
Yeah, Quavo took
but
the car back.
But it was in his name, at least under his name, I believe.
Yeah.
Any predictions of how this is going?
I like Saweetie. I like the way that she had like confidence in herself. I don't know, like obviously you're still going to go through what you're going to go through as a woman, but I like that the message that she was sending was this behavior is not acceptable because so many people say that it's acceptable.
What behavior?
Somebody cheating on you and then you just stick around. Like I Shout out to Saweetie for like.
I seen a headline with her and I rolled my eyes when I seen the.
Why? What headline was it?
PTSD from when she tried to rap on High 97 and they were like, oh, that ain't it.
I mean, she's not a good rapper. She's beautiful though.
And I was like,
she's improved.
I hate when people use PTSD and they're like, they just told you it wasn't it. So like, it wasn't that deep.
But you don't know her experience.
Yeah, I know. It's always we don't know her experience, I guess. But like, you can't freestyle. Don't go up there and freestyle.
But I think it was her team that was trying to get her to freestyle. I don't think she was the one who wanted to freestyle.
It was like Ebro
be putting people. I like
who
Ebro.
was the woman that's on there?
I forgot her name. But
and
Rosenberg.
Peter Rosenberg. Yeah.
And Ebro.
So it's like.
Is it like Laura or something?
Laura Styles.
Oh, okay, that's a name.
I like Laura Styles.
She's cool.
She's cool people.
But any predictions about this Derrick Jaxyn thing? Is that Derrick Jaxyn?
This is what I think.
I think she's gonna leave him.
I hope that
I
sis.
think so.
Why do you think
I think later on it's gonna happen.
I hope
you know
so.
What?
I really hope that she finds
there was
space to heal and leave. Because she seems like somebody from her Instagram post. I've had like somebody send me screenshots of her Instagram. It's a woman who had a lot of trauma in her life, so I really hope that she finds time to heal. And if you're sticking in this relationship because of the money, we all understand.
You ain't making that much money.
Collect your coins and leave.
Yeah, there's never. For me specifically, everybody is different because everybody requires different things. Anyways, I'm not even gonna finish that statement. I think that the person who originally broke the story was saying that he was just recently with someone, allegedly.
Yeah, that was a setup.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and so yeah.
Is he a reformed person?
Supposed to be pregnant.
Right, that's what I heard.
Yeah, I was like, oh, child. Because the first time before the information got put out there, the radio personality or the woman said that, she was like, you need to tell all of this, something like that.
Right.
I was like, okay, there's two things that this could be. He's still cheating with somebody and they're pregnant. Or
somebody got pregnant.
Or it's...
What?
You're hiding a child.
Yeah.
It could be.
I'm gonna knock this head out of your ass.
There's a possibility. There's a possibility.
He's trying to pull the We're not even gonna say what it is because it's so stupid.
He got issues with light skinned men.
Oh my God, that's not true at all. I have friends who are light skinned. I think you're making me say that.
Oh,
See what you're making me say right now? Like, that's crazy.
Oh my God.
He's making me say these kind of things.
Honestly, I think people will still listen to him.
I mean, he had gained a lot of followers according to Twitter.
But it's just because of the drama.
It doesn't matter. He's still gonna make his money. He's gonna sell his book. People will either buy it because they think he's a clown, or they're gonna buy it because they're like, oh well, whatever. He's able to get away with it, or whatever the case may be. He's still gonna financially.
And the pick-me's are still gonna support this man. Pick-me's,
yes,
like women.
Oh, he's.
It's
okay.
We'll explain to you.
Pick-me's are. I'm not just gonna say women, but they are people who want to be chosen. So they'll put themselves out there and are so readily available for.
And they always are defending the man and siding with the man. And a lot of the pick-me's I saw online, specifically on Clubhouse, were the ones that like coming at this woman and saying, oh, your husband, your man is Derrick Jaxyn. You should have the bundles, the hair, the lashes, the makeup.
He's not even
blah 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 blah.
Literally, I'm like, who is Derrick Jaxyn?
So I disagree. I think that not what you were saying. I really think that he can't make another video from his car. I know that for a fact.
He just did.
Why not?
I mean, he did it with his own video. I mean, yeah, but I don't think he's doing any more because I think for how I see it, and this is my opinion, but you have to be extremely good at something for someone to be like, okay, we're gonna let you continue. He wasn't extremely good at it. He was not at all.
He was to us, because we are the people that we are, he wasn't our cup of tea.
But
he's extremely
tapped
good
into a market that's very niche.
I just don't think he's good at speaking, but I don't think he had that large of enough a market to be able to be like recover from this. I just don't think so.
I think so.
I think so.
But I do think his wife will leave him. It might be 4 months, 6 months down the line, years. But I think at some point, I think she's gonna do it.
I hope she finds happiness.
I don't know. I just think that right now, what happens a lot of the times is like, and I've seen this happen in real life too, where like a woman comes into a relationship like, oh, you've been cheating, and then there's the extra woman in there, and then like you're so on defense mode about defending him and defending the relationship, and then after a while, after defending is done, then you start thinking about, oh, well, this nigga did do this, you know what I'm saying, and then you start processing what really happened. Instead of just, because the only thing she's probably thinking about is defending the family.
But there's sometimes, like, I would not defend my man publicly with cheating. Like, if he says the sky is orange, I'm like, yeah, my man said the sky is orange. But that's like, I'm not going to defend him with cheating and possibly having a child on me.
This might be a blessing in disguise, because maybe she wasn't around people who were saying to her, hey, this isn't right, or hey, this is da 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 da.
I mean, it's possible, but
I mean, if she's speaking the way that she's speaking, you know, from a religious standpoint, there's a possibility that the people that are in that circle are saying stay, because that's very common.
I know, but church people talk more than anybody else.
But just because they talk, don't mean that they won't tell you stay with the person that you're with.
And maybe
depending on who it is, depending on the church, you know.
Yeah, because it goes both ways. Because I've seen, you know, they be like, girl, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't start out right.
And maybe they're the ones that are actually in her ear and telling him he is the prize and she's not the prize because he's more popular. He got, you know, he's the breadwinner, blah, blah, blah. That people in her circle, you got a good man. You got, you know, he's the prize, blah, blah, blah. And I've seen that happen. I mean, again, I'm not Christian, but I've seen that happen in Somali culture too, where it's like, there's this one successful man that every girl is eyeing, and it's just like, once you get that. High value man? First of all, I don't even know what a high value man is.
I explained it to you.
It's dumb. The reasoning is dumb.
It's
but
not.
Like,
it's
once that girl in the community gets that man, and like he's the prize, right? Like she got the good, educated, man. So like maybe the women in her circle, maybe the people that she's around, really put her down like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, no one will know except for her, right?
Right. All I care about, do not shame this woman. That's it.
You ain't stopping them.
Yeah. Well, those are our opinions about the Derrick Jaxyn situation. Like we said, these are our opinions. Nothing that we say is fact. We are just
allegedly.
Allegedly. All of this is allegedly, unless he came out of it from his own mouth. And yeah.
Pick up your crowns, King.
Oh my God.